Alright guys, how's it going? Denonu here. This is going to be my informal Dying Light review. I literally just beat the game. I'm sitting here watching the credit screen as I'm saying this, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on the game after beating it. I know I didn't make any kind of impressions video or anything like that, but I just wanted to, let you guys know about the game if some of you are still even contemplating getting the game. I know it's like probably going on 2 months old at this point, and I've taken a long time in playing the game. I didn't want to rush through it and beat it, so I took my time with it, let everything digest, and this is like just all my thoughts condensed after just beating it. So let me start on the story. I know the first part to me, story is the most biggest thing. It has to set the environment that you're in. And for me, the story was pretty good. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing that's gonna, change the way we play games or change how we think about games. But it's actually pretty good. It kind of reminds me of a zombie thriller novel. If you guys or gals ever read any zombie thriller novels out there, but that's what it reminds me of. I know jumping into this game, I wasn't expecting much of a story. I was just expecting, oh, look, zombie outbreak. You're a part of a bunch of survivors that's in it. But immediately when you start the game, you find out that you're contracted by the military to, to break in this spot to get this thing. And I was like, oh, hold up. I like this kind of sort of stuff. I was not expecting that. Also, you had the main character actually has a fucking personality. Like during the cutscenes, that personality comes across with how he talks with, to other people over the radio, things like that. Love that. That's a big plus in my book because a lot of times in games like this, you're like a fucking faceless mute and you don't talk. I mean, and it seems like that's a trope that's in games where devs get lazy, where they don't want to give your characters a voice. And they've been doing that for like the past 10 years. And I hate that shit. Like, hell, 2 newer games that do the same thing. Fucking Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And there was another game, what just came out? GTA 5. And the whole online thing and that. Same fucking shit where where the characters just don't say anything. It's like, why do you even have create your character and all of that shit if you don't give your characters a personality? That's why I love games like BioWare games, because at least they allow you to talk somewhat of the time. And in Mass Effect you just got a full blown personality in that. But anyway, the story's pretty good. You have a few likable characters in the game like Jade, Brecken. The only thing that I really don't like, the game holds your hand story-wise and says, okay, you have to follow along this path of the story to progress. I wish they'd have left it up to your own personal choice as far as like, hey, look, do I want to side with 𝐟𝐺? Do I want to side with Brecken and Jade and them at the tower? Or do I want to just go with the military and do my job? I wish the game would have let you pick your decisions or at least which path of the story you want to follow. Because it would have made the game have more of an impact. Because, like, to me, the story, you have a lot of interesting points that they tried to throw into the game that kind of don't really work. Or, like, they work, but it doesn't give you the emotional, feels that, that they want you to do. Like, when Jade got killed, it's like, okay, yeah, Jade's cool. I like her as a character, but I didn't feel for her all that much because you didn't do shit with her the whole game. She was only on the radio. It's like that's the disconnect that you have if you don't make character interactions in a game. Like let's say if you were playing Mass Effect and like Garrus died, everybody would be butthurt because that's your homeboy because he's been with you for like 3 games and you've been on your team, you've been conversating with him. It builds a relationship somewhat with that character. Whereas in this, you never got that relationship build-up part. It's kind of like, oh, look, I'm this new character. I'm the pretty face. But then when she died, and it was like, it just seemed kind of forced because you had no control over what happened. None. It was like it was already done by the time you got there. And for me personally, it takes me out of that environment. And it makes me like, it puts me in like a bubble where it's like, okay, like, damn, it's kind of fucked up that you died, but oh well. Yeah, you know, I was like, it's like I can't feel for a character that way. But other than that, and those key moments that I kind of hated, like the fight with 𝐟𝐨, you know, where it's just like it's just a quick time event. I know other people have been saying this as well, but it's like, come on, that was the most laziest. Well, not the most laziest thing. I think Destiny is the most laziest thing you can do, but it's game developers do that because they want you to have a scripted event. I can understand that they want you to experience the game their way, but what would have made it, let's say, better is they should have did it how most games do a QTE sequence, where you fight 𝐟𝐨 for a little bit, weaken his health until you get the QTE event that progresses it to like the next stage of the fight where you're fighting him some more, then give you the next QTE event. They should have did it like that. I mean, if that's how you want to do it like that. But they didn't. It's kind of just you got 4 QTE button prompts and no fighting at the end of the game, and that was like a big, like, I'm not gonna say it's like a fuck you, but it's like, damn, you know, y'all couldn't do nothing different than that. You know, I mean, like, everybody's pretty much liking the game. I mean, I've only heard a couple people say that they hate the game, but I don't think the game is nowhere near bad. It's just the story. I mean, it's going to be hit or miss with most people, or at least hit or miss with some people, because some people care about story in games, other people don't. So I think if you don't care about story, just, you know, you ain't gonna care about the story of the game. But for those that do, like myself, I mean, the story was actually decent in this game. I'm liking it because of that. The music was very well. I will say that. It set the tone, even on the main menu theme of the game. It was done very well. The music changed as you progress the different areas of the game. The only gripe about the music, I would say, is that it was kind of set, I don't know if it was set on location, but if you hit a certain area and a song was playing, or at least in my game, the song would just drop out, like immediately cut out. And then like kick back in a couple seconds later as I did something. So I don't know if it was maybe because maybe the music changes when you get into a fight with zombies, and that's why I was doing it. But they should have transitioned that a little bit more better. But maybe it wouldn't. No, maybe it was my version of the game fucking up. Because I've had heard that and seen in my game that this game is kind of buggy when it comes to the PC version. If I'd have known it was going to be this buggy, I would have probably picked it up for PS4. But my biggest bugs in the game that I've had with it was every once in a while the game would stop loading. Like I would get to like a transition segment where it would I would hit a loading screen, and then it just wouldn't load the next, you know, what it was supposed to load. Like it would take me to the loading screen, load up, and then it would load, and normally it'd be like press A to continue or some shit like that. That would never happen. And I would have to like restart my computer, you know, bring it back up, and then once I brought it back up and reloaded my save, it would work. So that's how I had to do that, and I had to do that like pretty much every time I went back to the tower, you know, or every time I went back to like the main hub area, or like whenever it got to the free roam segments. Let me say that indoors it was fine, but when I got back out into the city, you know, or making those transitional loading screens, that's when it would always fuck up. Besides that, though, the game was pretty fun. The combat, great. I mean, they definitely stepped their game up. I think this is made by I want to say the same people who made Dead Island, or maybe they split off from them or something. I forget how it works. I remember seeing somebody else's video where they was talking about it. But this game, I was expecting this game to play like Dead Island, you know, for the most part, and it doesn't. It plays damn near nothing like it. The combat is smoother. It's better. I like the RPG elements when it comes to your character, that you got the little skill trees, the weapon crafting and all that. That was great. Love all of that. You know, if you're the kind of gamer who loves that RPG aspects of like character building, yeah, this is the game for you. Play this game. It's nothing you haven't seen before. Other games have done it well, if not better, but it's still damn good in this game. What else can I talk about here? I already spoke about interesting characters. I'm trying to think of negatives I can throw in here. I know for me personally, it wasn't a lot. Besides the various bugs and glitches, occasionally you would have a character glitch where, like, let's say, like, if you fell wrong. I remember one time it looked like my arm was broken. But once I got through like a loading screen, that would mean that was easily fixed. It was just one of those 3D modeling glitches that they have. But other than that, the game was good. It definitely came out of left field after last year's fuck up of game releases. Even though this one, I've heard the PC version of the game has a lot of issues, but they've been patching them and fixing them as it went out, so it's not a horrendous experience PC wise. But the game, like I said, it really came out of left field. I know it was kind of like the first big game to drop this year, and people were like, oh man, here's another fuck up. They were waiting for it, but everybody seems to be universally liking this game, besides one or two people who either don't like the game flat out, or a few people just not caring about the story, but that's all subjective anyway, like I was saying before. It's a damn good game. It's worth $60. It even has co-op in it too, so you can play with your friends and all that, so loving the hell out of that. And dog, if you don't shut just messing up my review video. Can you believe this shit? Anyway, like I said, it's a real good game. If you're thinking about getting it and you're thinking you're gonna have fun with it, please do. It is a great game. You're gonna have fun, even if you're one of those people who like, oh, I don't care about the story, but I just want to run around and kill zombies and do all of that. Buy this game because you will have tons of fun doing that. My biggest concern with the game, from a hardcore gamer standpoint, is that the game isn't difficult enough. I've heard other reviews say it too, and I feel the exact same way. When you get to, let's say, 40% through the game, starting the game is hard. It takes you forever to kill zombies. You don't have no weapons. Your weapons break real easy. But once you get 40% through the game and you have decent perks and unlocks abilities, the game turns and becomes easy mode. The zombies aren't a threat. The only real threat in the game are the ones that chase you at night. And even those don't become a threat halfway, in the trees, because once you figure out how to navigate through the night and deal with them, they're not hard. And it becomes the game, nothing challenges you anymore. Besides, like, oh, here's this crowd of zombies that I have to get through. Yeah, one or two of them might bite you, but yeah, you got like 50 different ways of clearing that crowd out. With petrol bombs, guns and ammo, or fucking explosives, or whatever, and the traps in the world to set them on fire and electrocute them and all that. So it becomes way, way too easy. But I heard they got a hard mode coming out pretty soon, so I don't know if that's going to really make a difference in the game. I'm hoping it does. I might have to play this game once that hard mode drops out and make a couple videos of that, of trying to survive night mode and everything. But like I said, the game was fun, and it was very enjoyable. If you're thinking about getting it, please do, or you can always wait for the price drops. Would I pay $60 for this game? Yeah, I would. Even to this day, even though it's like 2 months old, if you got a spare 60 and it was brand new right now, I would still drop that 60 on it. You're definitely gonna get your money's worth. But anyway, my name is Denonu, and as always, that's my real opinion. No bullshit. I'll see you guys later.